Alright, hello everyone. We've got a bit of an odd video today. This isn't really something I've ever done before. But I'm here with George,
Hello, everyone.
and we are going to do something I don't believe has been done before by anyone, but it seems like a really easy concept, and one that I'm sure a lot of people would be interested in. This is going to be basically judging all the Baby Einstein 2004 toy replacements based on how much better they are or worse they are than the original, and how good they are. Simple idea. Surprised it wasn't done. If it was, I'm not aware of it. So we're just gonna. It's pretty simple. Got all the toys here. Some of them aren't shown because they're at the bottom. And then we've got categories. We've got much better than the original, a little bit better than the original, and then kind of a toss up. A little worse, way worse, and the unexplainable. Let me do myself a favor and close a couple apps that were lagging my computer. Not that this is a big deal for lag, but yeah. So all right, let's begin.
All right, let's get started with the wooden stacking rings that replace the rocket stack in Language Arts 2000.
This is a pretty simple concept. They're both stacking rings. I like the colors on it. Um, I'm just gonna call it a toss up because there's nothing that makes it worse or much better.
Yeah, it's really not better or worse. I think they both work for what they do.
Yeah.
The
All right.
next one is the Sesame Street blah, excuse me.
You're
Sesame Street
good.
Express being replaced by the LGBKC train and of course all the other pieces, but we're ranking as one because there's no point to rank all four pieces.
This is tough to judge because the original is weird. It's a big ride-on, so the proportions are kind of odd. But I think this is okay. George, what do you think?
I think it's okay, but I think the Shakespeare replacement for Bard, and now he's just gone.
Yeah, you
So
cut out a
that
little there,
wasn't
but I
really
get what you're
very
saying.
good.
Bard is now gone, and that's really stupid. So Ellen, I would say, is a toss-up. Shakespeare, I would say, is way worse. So I guess that evens out to a little worse.
Yeah, that's a good placement. Also, I'm gonna make a note.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, obviously this is just the toys. All of the puppet show replacements are bad.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's one puppet show in here, I think, but it has a toy in it, so we'll go over that once we get to it. But next up is the fiber optic lamp, which is the only toy in '04, I believe, that was used in a previous video.
Yeah.
And this is tough because I think the wide shot is kind of nice, but the zoom in is just weird. And it is not the fiber optic wand because why would they do that? I mean, yes, it's weird that they credited that and didn't use it, presumably, but still. So I don't really know about this one. What's your thoughts?
I don't really care about the candles, but I think they worked fine for what they had.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Maybe more of a toss up.
Yeah, I'll give this a toss up, but a little worse than the stacking rings. I don't know if we're gonna fully order through tiers or not. We'll kind of see as we go. All right. Next, we've got Groovy Girls Sicily, and you know what? I don't remember off the top of my head which doll this replaced.
Well, good news for Groovy Girl Sicily. This replaced Harmony, who I'd rather not look at.
Because it's nothing, I can't give it much better, but it's a bit better by not being terrible and,
Exactly. That doll
ugly.
is staring into your soul.
I mean, I guess that one is too, but
Not as much. At
no,
least it's
certainly not. Alright, next we've got two of my favorite toys in the series, the Bobby Carroll doll and the Tidoo doll. Maybe it's the reverse order, I don't know. Um, what do these replace?
one of them replaces Betsy Wetsy, and the other replaces the Baby Gap doll.
Which Okay.
Do
Well, whatever
you want me to
replaces Betsy
look?
Wetsy is better, and whatever replaces the Baby Gap doll is worse. I don't know which is which. So, for the sake of this video, we're gonna say this one replaces Betsy Wetsy and is a bit better, and this one replaces the Baby Gap doll and is pretty significantly worse.
For reference, they both suck, but Betsy
Yes.
Wetsy
Yeah,
also
Betsy
sucks.
Wetsy really sucks. Obviously, if I were ranking toys based on just the toys themselves and not the context with them, they would be right next to each other, but that's not
At the
this.
bottom.
Also, let's get this thing off of what? There we go. Okay, next up, Push and Mary. I forget that they take the dome off this. I remember I tried, it did not go well. But this is a pretty solid replacement, I'd say. It's not really better than the original, so I can't say a bit better, but it's definitely a toss up. I'm gonna put it at the front of that. George, do you agree?
Would agree.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, next we've got the ABC Big Blocks. Pretty much the same concept. Um, I like the colors of the originals better, but it really does not matter. I'll put it at toss up, but a bit lower.
Fun fact about this clip: I have no idea why they bothered, but the letters on the blocks are the same.
That's great. That's so weird that they actually bothered to do that. Okay, next is an interesting one. It's Lily Lamb, which is just a plush that they rock back and forth, but I'm not the biggest fan of the original musical Lamb. I think this is a little worse just because it's desperate. You know, it's not supposed to actually do that, and they just kind of lazily make it do. But I don't think it's terrible because the original musical Lamb is not all that. George?
I would say that it's a little worse because it's just aimlessly moving a plush around, which isn't. This is not the first time they'll do that.
Nope. Alright, TikTok musical clock, totally fine. Toss up without a doubt. It's basically as close as you can
They're
get
they're
to
both
the
fine.
musical clock. Um, I would say I prefer this a teeny bit, but not by enough to really do anything, so I'll just put it here. Alright, I don't remember what any. Well, I can guess what the Octo Tunes replaces, but not the
I
others.
can tell you when you
Yeah.
do them.
Alright, well, we're doing them. So, Pup Squeak Puppy.
Bright ball.
Okay, Bright Ball is a pretty solid toy for LN standards. Pup Squeak Puppy is eh. But it's not really worse in any way, so I'll just put it lower on toss up.
Sherbet's pig replaces the Eden bear.
It's a little worse. It's really bland, and the Eden Bear just sticks out more. But I'll put it at the top of it because there's nothing wrong with it. Other than it being
Also
stupid.
worth noting that these obviously were also in Mozart.
Yeah,
Also, I think it's really funny they replace an Eden toy with an Eden toy,
I
which they do
know.
that again later
Uh huh.
in
And then
other
Octo
videos.
Tunes, I want to say plush, but that's not correct. Jolly Octopus.
Yes.
I think it's fine. It's colorful. It's a baby toy. You know, Jolly Octopus is a bit of a weird toy, but it's definitely iconic. So I think it's all right.
Yeah, I would say it's fine replacement.
All right, the Whirlwind. I think it's so weird that they don't use the base for it and just kind of have it meander. Um, it's not a bad toy on its own, but I don't love the way they use it, and for that, I'm gonna say a little worse.
I
But
don't
yeah,
know why they didn't use the base.
I know.
Also, it's kind of a pointless replacement. I know it's an obscure toy, but why?
Yeah, it's like not necessary.
Maui Toys, which was probably, I think it actually is still existent. I was going to say it's defunct, but I don't think it is. Maybe it is. I'm going to say this and then I'm going to be very.
All right, one of my favorite toys, the '04 wind chimes. They're unfound. They're really, really generic. I don't think it's quite way worse because it's not actively bad, but it's definitely a little worse just because of it being a case of they probably just bought the first thing they saw. It's so generic. So, not horrendous, but it's pretty bad.
I just don't really see the point yet again.
No. Okay, this is pretty shameless. The Baby Einstein duck plush. Um, and if you want to count the hat with it, I think that's a true neutral. Whatever. Um, but shameless self promotion goes in way worse because it's bad. I hope you enjoy my insightful commentary. Do you have any
Of
better?
course, it's just lazy and self-advertising, and they get it wrong in the toy
They do.
chest.
They think
They
it's from a
don't.
different toy that they made.
Also, Maui Toys was still in business, so there was no reason to.
Hmm.
I don't think they are anymore, but they were.
Alright, then we've got if you liked Eden replaced with Eden, you'll love it the second time. Um, they used another eating cow in place of the previous eating cow. This one being the cow jump over the moon after the previous cow jumped over the moon. So, I guess this is a toss up. At the same time, it's so unbelievably useless, all things considered. I'm gonna put it in a little worse, but only a little.
This might be nostalgia based, but obviously most of the original toys are far memory.
Yeah. And, you know, we can't base the rankings strictly off that, but generally the 04 replacements are worse. Anyways, we've got the Ma Brewster Bear and Tin Drum. They're separate images on here, but I'll probably just put them next to each other. It's desperate. I mean, it looks kind of funny. I grew up with Mozart 04 a little bit, so it's somewhat nostalgic. I mean, I grew up with LN too, but I don't remember the wind chimes. But it's not great. It's an okay attempt, but I feel like there had to be something better. So I'd say just a little worse.
I need to mention something about that you may have forgotten, but I'm not sure.
Yeah?
Not only did it replace the drumming bear, which of course the drumming bear was battery operated, now it's plush being operated.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it also replaced the Coca-Cola Bubble Bear, and it's really lazy. And even worse than
That is a good point. That one is really bad, and you know what? I'm not going to separate them. Or no, I am going to separate them. Excuse me. I wasn't going to, and now I am. Just for the Coca-Cola bear being really, really bad. Anyways, Globe Fiber Light. I actually think this is a little better than the candles. Candles are only candles, and they're just good luck doing anything with them. Not that that should really have an effect on how this is ranked, but I think it's a really nice lamp, and I like the color scheme, so I'm going to put this a bit better.
I would agree. It's also worth noting that the candles the second time were just replaced with an alternate take of the fiber optic lamp.
Yeah, I forget about that sometimes. Okay, Wayne is sick as fuck, and I will not be hearing any other takes. The Silver Galaxy is really mid for kinetic. Obviously, it's okay, but the Wayne, really, really like it. Works well. We have our first much better.
I would agree that is definitely better.
Mm-hmm. Fiber optic butterfly is weird because I don't think it works in the music video, but I don't mind how they do it, and it's a nice toy. So I'm gonna say a little bit worse because of how it fits, but I'd say the toy itself is probably better.
I have something to add
Yeah.
that you may have forgotten.
Oh yeah.
This was used double in
Mm-hmm. In
04.
Van
So it's
Gogh.
in Mozart 04 for Touch and Play Teddy.
Mm-hmm.
But Van Gogh 4, for some reason, it's the Magma Light,
Which
which
I
is
think
so
is
stupid.
equally
But
okay. Like,
it kind of
eh.
fits, but it's just so stupid that they bothered to
It's
replace
really
that.
random.
Like
I forget
it's
about
so
that.
unnecessary. Like they kept everything else from that line of things, but
They
that
kept
needs
that
to
Dream
go.
Tour land. I love this so much. I gotta say something. If you go on the BE website, I don't know if it's World of Colors or Van Gogh, it says the Dream Tour lamp is available and the Pachinko is not. So yeah, you can get the Dream Tour lamp in, 2011 or whatever, but Pachinko, tough shit. You got that?
Yeah, you're good to keep going.
Alright, cool. Uh, yeah, more self-promotion. We got Symphony Sounds Bard.
Buggity Bucket clears.
Absolutely. I'm gonna say way worse. Pretty much the same thing as the duck. Both original toys are really nice. Both of these ones are not. Actually, you know what? The duck's a silly little man, so I'm gonna put him above. Okay, Venus. This is an easy much better. The candle chimes, again, not great. And Venus is really, really nice. I think it works with the music video, and I like the multiple angles. Um, just better all around, and I'd say better than the Wayne because even though I prefer the Wayne a bit, I prefer the Silver Galaxy over the Party Chimes. So, pretty easy, much better, and probably gonna sit very close to the top by the time the thing's done.
The only thing I have to say about that is that I think they kept the chime sounds in. That's not perfect.
They
But
did.
that was more of
I
a
always thought it was
audio thing.
natural,
Which
but
there's multiple other bad audio things later that talk about, but that one's not that bad. It's kind of if you just ignore it, it's not that bad.
you
But some of
can
the other ones
convince yourself that it's normal.
you cannot ignore the other ones because they're just really
No.
bad.
Alright, Magic Jet. It's fine, you know, the audio works with it. I, I don't know if it's a toss up or a little worse, because obviously it ends up getting used on the go, but that's after this, so. Um, George, what do you think?
I would say it's okay. It does the job. Obviously, the Sight and Sound helicopter is the better. Well, I guess it's up to perspective, but in my opinion, it's the better toy because
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't make loud music
Oh, God, yeah.
stuff. So,
I'm
yeah.
putting the Magic Jet in toss up as if I don't own the Magic Jet and don't kind of hate it. But also,
Mine is all.
mine doesn't move at all, so
Yeah,
there's
mine's
that.
also barely work.
Let me check where we are in the recording. Okay, 17 minutes. Cool. All right. The wooden shape sorter and sing and spin bugs. We'll get to them both because they replace one toy. Um, wooden shape sorter is law of all averages. I'm gonna say a little worse because it really doesn't stand out, but it's not outright terrible. Um,
Same situation where it's two toys that do the same job. One is just better.
sing and spin bugs is nice. I'm gonna put it in toss up because I don't really know how to consider it better or worse than the original since it's kind of its own thing. But I will put it very close to the top of toss up. I'll put it at the top actually because it's a really
You
good
can
toy.
debate if the original Infant Sensor Cube clip was too long, so they did that. But I honestly was never really bothered by it.
I think it kind of what now that you say that I think it was, and I'm going to put it in a bit better due to that because it really
Obviously,
serves to
it's more. It
fix
fits a
that
different
flaw.
role. That's why they added
Uh
it to
huh.
fit that time.
All right, race car clock. I think it's better. I think the colors are a bit better for a Mozart video. It looks nice. Unicorns are for girls, so yeah. But I think it's a little bit better. You know, it's kind of a toss up, but I think it wins out by a bit. I don't know why it moves so fast in the video. Mine does not move that fast. I wonder what's different with theirs. I'll go ask them.
I'd say it fits the same role nicely, unlike the other one. We'll
Mm-hmm.
get to later.
Yeah. Uh, Groovy Girls Bindi replaces Jolly Octopus?
Let me check. I think it's something strange, like they just used it for the girl doll. Yeah,
Okay,
they
yeah, the
did.
girl doll. And then they
Even though it's
reused
just
the other. Yep. Okay.
yeah.
I mean, it's a little worse. The girl doll, Baby Gap doll, is one of the better things from that section, I'd say. And Groovy Girls Bindi, besides having her own video, um, it's not great. So I'll put it in a little worse, but it's not by that much.
I am crying, but only on the
Also,
inside.
Baby Gap doll doesn't have a mascot costume. Alright, we're on to Bach, and we've got Ricky Rooster, which is pretty much the same thing. Cornelius is fun, but this does the job, and I don't think there's anything absurdly fucked up with it. So I'll put it in toss up, but a bit on the lower end.
It doesn't exactly move the same, but they did a decent job at making it fit.
Mm-hmm. I think it's a very solid attempt. All right, Turbo Tower tops. Um, First off, I don't know how they got them all to stack. That's impressive stuff, and I think that deserves a little bit of a bump up just on its own. But the Hydro Gyro clears by being a top with liquid in it. That is just awesome. Um, I think it works. I think it's another toss up. I don't really see a reason for it to be a little worse because it does the job and it does it pretty well. And you could also argue there's more going on with it than the Hydro Gyro because it just kind of sits there. Um, so I will put it in toss up. The
I would say
tiers are
that's fair.
yeah. The tiers are only somewhat ordered. I mean, it's not going to be perfect, but the push to marry is better than the fiber optic lamp, and I can say that with confidence. So good enough. Um, all right, we got the balancing sun, and you could not really get more accurate than this. Um, it's not better because I don't think it fits the vibe of Bach as well as something unique like the Sun Pendulum does, but it's definitely not worse specifically. So in toss up it goes. They did a good job with it, and who knows if they painted it or not because there are so many versions of that. Maybe that does exist. Maybe it doesn't.
I get why it was replaced and it works decently enough.
Yeah. All right. Bubble Monkey works, and guess what? It's a toss up because it's kind of the same thing. Uh, I hate mine, but that doesn't mean I hate this, and I think it's pretty good. So every single Baco 4 toy has been a toss up so far.
Meanwhile, what?
This is what we like to call a what? First off, if you look at the
What
clip,
is going on in the background? Yeah,
yeah,
there's a purple
there's a
thing.
purple thing. It's like some, crank or lever or something they're using to rotate them slowly on some sort of platform. I don't know if it's like a gear thing or something else, but it's really, really weird, and I don't think there's any way to figure out what it is because you can barely see it. Um, they are all ugly. They are not fit for a video like this, and the attempt to make them slightly rotate is really desperate with some strange, convoluted contraption that we don't know. So this is just a really, really bad replacement. One of the worst in the series for sure. And very worthy of the what category.
This is the definition of what. There was
Absolutely.
no need to replace. Well, okay, maybe there were some rights issues. I get that, but you could have at least used something similar, something by like Department 56. But no, let's rotate these
Like
dolls that
collectible,
old people
caroler, ugly
collect. Yeah,
things.
old people collect those. It
Mm-hmm.
doesn't work. It was
No.
never gonna work.
Nope. Real bad. Okay. Saxophone is fine. The quote unquote white background looks like ass, but that's not really a part of it. It's a bit more of a baby toy, which isn't really a good or bad thing, so into toss up it goes. There's not really anything else to say about it.
It wasn't even consistent. Beethoven, of course, still.
Mm-hmm. Um, this is an interesting one. Minnie Mouse Kiko Kitty. I like the toy. I think it works for like the cutesy whatever the fuck. I'm never doing that again. Um, but they fuck it up with the audio. So I don't know how much that should factor into this decision. It's definitely not better than the Baby Giraffe. Um, but I'll put it in toss up because it's not exactly worse either.
I, I mean, the Baby Drive obviously. I don't like keep saying obviously. It works better, but I wouldn't say that the Ego Kitty is necessarily bad.
No. Alright, this is an interesting one. So, Sunny, I'm going to be the first and probably not the last to say it. Sunny is ugly. I don't love it in a baby video, but it's iconic and it doesn't not work. The singing, swaying flower, I think, is a fair decision to put. Obviously, it's a bit of a mess for what it is and figuring out what it was, but it's definitely not worse. I would personally call it better, but George, what do you think?
I would say that it's slightly better due to being less creepy. Even though that's kind of a subjective thing, let's be honest.
Mm-hmm.
The Sun of these things so far is creepy.
Yeah.
Also worth noting, we're not ranking it. Sunny the Singing Sunflower in Shakespeare 04 was replaced by a fucking Hobby Lobby
Oh my
flower
God,
they
you're right.
bought,
Yeah, we're not.
which is a what? The whole puppet show is a what?
Yeah.
But it's not
Just know
on
if we
here.
put that on here, which we never thought to, it'd be a what? Okay, so the dominoes, they're fun. The circus, fun fair, carnival theme is matched with them, so I appreciate that. But you don't beat the magic clock. I mean,
This is
I'm looking
true.
at it right now.
It can't be
It's
beat.
just better. Um, it works better with the music. It matches the aesthetic slightly better. Um, it's not a bad attempt, but it's just a little bit worse. Only a little though. It's a nice toy, but eh.
It's also one of those replacements where it's a completely different thing. Like a lot of them, they get close, but this one they're just like, let's
Wow.
do whatever.
Yeah, like you gotta get the push and Mary Shekel carousel. This for the clock, and then you've got this for the magic clock. Like, no. Speaking of questionable things, the clown clock. Um, so I want to take a minute to address that in early versions of the Bach VHS, I think like 98, 99, both clowns move fine, and in all other versions, um, the left clown doesn't actually move. This will be covered in that video I posted about that we're trying to work on. But it's a really weird thing I forgot about until now. And I guess they were inspired by the clown not moving because they used a moving clock and didn't have it move. It's there for a split second, which I know the wind-up clowns are too, but they don't even attempt to have it do anything. And I think the toy itself is significantly better than the wind-up clowns, because they are ugly, they're hideous, they're awful. And they're going to send a hitman out to get me after they heard that. But they fuck the use of the clown clock up so bad that I can't necessarily call it better. I can't call it way worse because it's a way better toy, but it does so little that I have to put it in at least a little worse. It can go right next to the flippity flops.
It's definitely worse, although the clown's not a very good toy. It doesn't really fit well with the baby video. The clown clock, as you said, doesn't even fucking matter.
Yeah, like why? Like I know it wouldn't have been on screen for very long, but whether it's one or two of the original clowns, they moved, and that was fine. So there's so bad use of it, such bad use of it. I was going somewhere else, and then I fucked up my sentence. All right, on to Shakespeare and Disney Funland. The Bugs on the Run is one of the best slide toys in BE. The colors are great. It really works with the music video. And the Disney Funland is okay. So, there's that.
I would say slightly worse
Yeah,
because the
definitely.
original just works better.
Uh-huh.
I wouldn't say it's abysmal or
No,
anything,
it's not
but it
bad,
just
but
doesn't
it's
work.
just
It
never
doesn't
going to
work
be...
as well.
It's just never going to be it. And Busy Box is not too dissimilar, although I'd say these ones are a bit closer. This one's also a sorter, and it's done pretty much the same way. I'm going to put it in a little worse just because... Well, do I have a reason to put it in a little worse or no?
No, not really.
Yeah,
They
let's put
both
it in
fit the
toss-up.
same role. And the same with the next toy.
Oh boy,
Although,
I
if
don't
you
know
know
what
what
to
the
do.
whole toy looks like, it's a little weird, but they filmed it well enough to where you would.
I don't know what to think about this because I love the colors on the push along get things heady, which replaces the pop pop top. Um, but like, should they have done something else with it? Should they have shown different angles? I don't know. It's the same concept toy, that works on that. So I think I kind of have to put it on toss up because
Yeah, it doesn't really work worse or better.
no. All right, on to Van Gogh. And we've got the shuffle bugs, and they pretty much work the same. You could say the original bug finger puppets are creepy, but I don't think they are. I think they work well with the aesthetic and just general feel of Van Gogh. I don't think these don't work with it. You could say they're a little worse. I don't think they actually screw anything up with them, so I'm just gonna put them lower on toss up.
I would say that's fine. I mean, I don't get the replacement, but they don't
Yeah,
come
I
out
guess you
worth
could
it.
debate like why, but I don't know if they were being made then. So okay, this one,
Although I need to hold a funeral for Benny Butterfly because he's dead.
this one is interesting. Hot Bungie's plush monkey, which replaces Benny Butterfly, which is an L&L puppet that serves as a toy, which is not something that's really ever happened or happened again after it in BE. And Benny Butterfly, I think, is weird to begin with, but this is not better. It's just a random monkey plush, and they move its arms. So I'm gonna say a little worse because Benny Butterfly's fun, if not
And
weird.
they just refilm it for World of Colors.
Yeah. Why did they refilm it for World of Colors? I don't know. Oh boy.
Ass!
Yeah. So I'm gonna put this in way worse because you know what? No, it's going in what? Because I'm fairly sure the ramp racer from the original was still being made. This is by the same brand. It's basically the same thing, and the audio's off sync. It's on a bad white background. They just fuck everything possible
And
up
you
with
can
it.
see the original ramp racer at the end.
You can. I forgot about that. So yeah, this is a what? It's not as bad as the Carolers, but it's still a what? And barely a lot as bad as the Carolers. Guess what?
Pretty
What?
bad.
So,
Not red.
obviously we're just gonna count the balls and the Gemini. This is a great toy. I really love how it looks. I know they were going for the mini orbiter, but they forgot to make it red. They forgot the very principle of their video for babies teaching colors. They put every single other color besides for red on it and put it in the red music video. Also, Spiral Comets is one of the best toys in PE, and they just bungled it. They fucked it up. It's pretty good in first sounds, where it makes sense, but isn't first sounds. Uh,
Rare occurrence where first sounds wins.
yeah. So, cannot believe they actually used that. There, you can see, it's hard to see since the image is so small, but there's a pink ball and a couple orange balls. There's no red. At all. Not even a single one. So would rank highly in some other circumstances for other toys, but not in the red music video replacing one of my favorite toys in BE. Anyways, here we have whatever.
It's
It's
fine.
it's
About
not
the
whatever
same.
because I've looked for the Toyaton. It's unfound. It's got a bunch of shit around it, but uh, it's a whatever replacement because it's a red top and it does the job. Um, I don't think it's that much stupider than the 32 figures because the 32 figures don't even light up in Van Gogh, so it's fine. But I would love to know what's up with it. That does not factor into this though. All right, now we're on neighborhood animals. All two toys. This is an interesting one because I think Mousetrap is a bit of a weird choice because it's like a board game, but it definitely works. They made audio that works for it, and it's good. It's fine.
And then
Marlena
they
is
kept
a
that audio.
significantly better toy on paper, but correct me if I'm wrong on this. It's very out of sync.
It,
Sorry, you glitched out. Can you repeat that?
yeah, it's the same audio.
Uh-huh. So they don't do enough to make it work with the original audio for me to say it's better. Um, but I am going to put it in toss-up because I really like the toy, and I think it's a significantly better toy than Mousetrap. Not by much, though. Okay, this one is no question. This is a finger puppet that they just do some weak stop motion on. In this, it's the Barnyard Knucklehead stuck. I'm losing brain cells. And it replaces the Quack Quack Ducky, which had very specific audio. And this one is a finger puppet moving across the screen. So this is a definite way worse. It's not quite a what, because I know what they were going for. But it's still way worse. They do not do a good job with it. I also never want to film it because stop motion is annoying. I don't want to do it. And also, who wants a clip compilation of that?
It's just a stupid toy used
Anyways,
stupidly.
we can't exactly say what the World Animals plushes replace, so we're just gonna kind of wing it. I don't really know. Um, the elephant was down there. So we had to add it. Uh, in general, the scene is worse, and unless the plush is good, it's gonna go in a little worse.
The cymbal banging was kept.
Yeah.
Great.
Tiger. I'll put the chicken a little above. It looks nice. Okay, the elephant is way worse. It's a leg. They don't
You
even
can't
show
even
it.
see it. It's just legs.
Monkey's
The rest are
fine.
whatever.
Giraffe's fine, although I don't know why it's a puppet again. So yeah, not great. Not terrible though, because it's a weird scene to try and remake anyways, but it's not it. Alright, sidestepping turtle, putting a wind up with bubbles should not work, and it kind of doesn't, but it could be worse. I don't know why they had to replace Mr. Bubbles, but them replacing Mr. Bubbles, it's okay. George, what do you think?
Audio, yet again, absolutely unfitting and
Yeah.
terrible.
The audio really brings this one down.
The toy is fine.
Mm-hmm.
The bubbles are a little strange. I get why they were there to,
Uh-huh.
the original made bubbles. But the audio, it's the audio of Mr. Bubbles moving up and down. There's
Mm-hmm.
no Mr. Bubbles moving up and down
He's
anymore.
moving side to side, not up and down. Anyways, on to Newton. The Silver Musical Land or Solar Powered Plane Ride, whichever you choose to believe. I think it's a bit like a politics thing at this point. Um, is kind of the same metaphor as how you've seen like those posts about how McDonald's is all black and white now. It lost all its color. Yeah, it's that. They couldn't use the original, so it's now just silver, and it's a little worse because I like colors. Obviously, it's fine. It's the
Yeah.
same toy pretty much, but
It doesn't not work, but it's just like pointless.
yeah,
Especially because it's the same brand again.
yeah. And again, I don't think it's logistically possible for it to have been the solar powered plane ride, but I don't know for sure. Um, they tried their hardest with the train. It's fine. Stuff's really boring, but that's not their fault. Uh, it's the same concept. It gets the job done, but it's not pretty.
I would say the same for this and the next one.
I don't know what to think about this one because I don't know what they had to do to the toy to make it work. If they just used the toy on its own, or if they really fucked some shit up and it's not even like that at all. So because of I don't know what it is, why they used that. I'm gonna put it in a little worse, but again, not by much. It's pretty comparable. Because,
Yeah.
is it magnetic? Is it hammer? I don't know. They leave us too many questions, and this is their fault. Okay, Beethoven stuff. This clip is a little amateur, I guess. It kind of looks weird, but toy works okay. Feels natural enough. I'd say it's a toss-up. Pretty standard. Same with this one. The building bricks card is kind of boring. So this this is fine. The stop motion I think works all right. It's not great or anything, but it's not really any worse. Any thoughts on that?
Both Beethoven 04 toys are very whatever.
Yeah. Okay, I don't know how the metronome and the block card are down here before we get to all the Santa stuff. So
There are
let's
three things before Santa.
yeah
One of
let's
them
nope, that's
randomly in
the
the
one.
middle. And also some of the Santa stuff's repeated, so I don't know why. This is what's
Yeah, it was just glitching out. It was doing some weird shit. Um, but anyways, the metronome. I mean, what else is it but toss up? It's just a
it was just
bigger
kind
and
of
a yellow.
pointless. I guess they didn't even replace it in Mozart. So why did they replace it here?
I have no idea. You know what? Down one. Why the fuck did they do it?
It was just unnecessary.
Yeah. Block cart. It's fine. The multi-block usage, I think, is wrong, but it does the job. And I get why it needed to be done.
It's fine.
Okay, these blocks, on the other hand,
What?
yeah, this is a what? So that replaces
Bottom.
the super helter skelter and the butterfly lamp in two separate
That
scenes.
that's just insulting.
It's really boring. It's really lazy, and those are like two of the best toys from the original.
Discovering shapes adjacent, honestly, and how
Yeah.
boring it is.
Okay, gotta get prepared for this. We're not gonna talk too much about these, but Santa 04. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, even though that's in the wrong spot, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, with all the rest are all repeats. 22 things in Santa 04, and then we're done. Number 1 is Santa in Plane, and I don't really know why they had to replace this because they kept the other Flights of Fancy stuff, but it works. Does the job, Flying Santa, good enough. I think
I
this
assume it had
is,
something to do with editing because of the
yeah,
warning screen.
uh-huh. So I'll let it slide. You could debate a little worse because of pointless, but I think there could be a point to it, and the toy's pretty decent, so I'll give it a toss-up and be nice. We have a total of 8 toy replacements above average in 04.
Yeah, that checks
Rough.
out.
So this is a fun one because in the Dreidel song they used Dancing Claws Couple originally, which does not align with the traditions of the songs and the footage. But 2 random snowmen from like TJ Maxx or something moving on the background is also not better. I don't know if it's necessarily worse, but the original worked so well with the music that I'm gonna have to put it worse. And I don't want to do that to them because they're nice and they're unfound. Not that that matters, but I'm sorry, it had to be done.
Good old plush moving.
Snowman 955109 and 955125.
I hope they get found immediately.
I know. I've noticed.
Bad.
I've noticed. Real quick, I want to take a quick intermission. I've noticed that whenever I talk a lot for one period of time, ever since I got sick, I get a bit nauseous. I don't know what it is.
That's not good.
It's not bad, but it's just noticeable.
Well,
Um. Oh boy. Yeah, this is a what? The audio's off sync and the toy kind of blows. By the way, was the drumming soldier so rare that we had to replace it with fucking Nutcracker?
Was Morris Moose necessary to add instead of the penguin?
This is just a what all around. The one singular movement of the puppet in the puppet show is like 5 seconds off sync. It's just terrible. This one is not terrible. This one replaces, I think, the Scandinavian reindeer ornament. It's kind of boring. I like the original a lot, so I'm gonna put a little worse, but it's fine. Nothing wrong with it. Uh, Mosaic Ball, I totally get why they replaced the original Snowman because it's probably at least a little bit handmade. Maybe it's like a kind of like the Sun Pendulum, where maybe it was like a local thing and there were like 20 of them or something. But the Mosaic Ball is nice. It's all right. I think it's a little better than the plane because it makes more sense to be replaced a little bit, and I think this is better than the plane and the reindeer or Scandinavian reindeer is better than the snowman. But it's close. It's kind of interchangeable.
They're both fine.
North Pole train track, whatever the official name is. I think this works. The original's on a green screen, so it's weird, and it's kind of an odd toy. Don't really think about it. I don't think about this one either, but it's good. I think it does its job. I'm gonna actually put it. You know what? I'm gonna put it a little better because I think it just works a little better for that
Well,
scene.
I do appreciate the removal of kid scenes.
Yeah. I also appreciate the frosty light trees in the background.
That's great.
Only three of them. They had that whole set, but they only found three of them. Season Squeakings is not very good. It's a pretty generic ornament. Um, and it replaces Chris Mouse, which is very fun and not even an ornament originally. So I don't really get this one. It's not way worse territory, but it's not great.
I would agree. The
This one
original
is nothing.
just straight up
This
bad.
is actually, you know, I'm gonna put this a little worse because the clip kind of looks like ass. This is the reindeer headband and the snowflakes, mostly just the reindeer headband. The headbands are completely interchangeable. Does not matter. Don't know why they did it. Well, I do know why because the Rudy puppet, but the clip it just generally looks worse. So a little worse it is. Purple Paradise replaces as a chubby cheer. United we stand.
I'll take a look. Chubby cheer.
Okay, that's what I thought. He's funny, and this is really, really boring. So, a little worse.
Reminding of really, really
Also,
boring.
why did they need to replace Chubby Cheer? They kept a bunch of other Radco shit. Anyways, snooze. I don't care for United We Stand that much, but this is just a snowflake ornament. There's already gonna be another one that's probably a little bit cooler with the clip. So this is again a little bit worse. Although because of United We Stand being kind of a random choice, I don't think it's as bad as like Little Paradise. Okay, this one also goes a little worse because the toys are basically interchangeable. I don't know why they even replaced them. But then they use the clip of the original zoom in. So this one's just kind of baffling. I don't know. It's not way worse. It's just really weird and questionable. All right, George. I'll interject, but my voice is getting pretty hoarse. So you want to kind of take over a little bit?
All right, so I'll do the rest. I don't mind.
Mhm.
So the tower windmill is pretty interchangeable than the pyramid windmill. I would say that it's kind of a toss up. I do like the background of that, but they both kind of look like that, so they just kind of try to recreate it. But they didn't do a bad
they
job,
tried to
honestly.
recreate it. I like this better than the original pyramid, and the backgrounds are kind of interchangeable. I'm gonna put this a bit better. I like the winter colors of this one a lot.
It's a nice toy.
You could debate that like the cultural element of Santa in the original is a little bit less with this, but I don't think that's a big deal. I think they do a decent enough job at recreating this to where I can put it there. I put so little there anyways, I'm pretty generous.
The next toy, I believe, is they're not in order, by the way.
Yeah, like this one is way out of place.
The snowflake ornament looks nice, but I feel like the poinsettia is more interesting.
The poinsettia clip in the original is kind of boring because there's no like starburst or anything, and it's just kind of whatever. But it's a more interesting ornament, so I think this is a toss up just based on better filmed clip and better toy. So they're
Yeah,
very
that's a good
close.
explanation. This is pretty much a toss up. I think I would maybe, I don't know. They're very similar.
I
It's
think
just a reindeer
the
on your head,
other
replacing a
reindeer is
reindeer
just
on a
the
head.
head, and there's lots of sparkles, but this one sparkles too. This is a toss up, just like no more, nothing more to it.
Yeah, they are pretty similar and interchangeable.
This one, they
Same
took.
for this. I think the clip is a little weird with like the
I
garland
don't like how the
stuff.
clip is filmed. The toy's okay, but this is not amazing. It's not
Very
terrible.
slight. It's like slightly worse. The
Yeah.
original is better.
hmm
Same for this. I
I don't
think
know
it looks a little weird. The
why did they
lighting is a
light
little
it like
odd.
orange, just red. It's not that color. It's in the toy chest.
Yeah, it just looks odd. The original is better, of
Yeah.
course.
Um. Pretty standard stuff. Okay. This one.
All right, now I have something great to say. So first of all, this is not a Christmas toy. They added a Santa hat
No,
on.
Platt River
Very like
Trading makes like wildlife toys, natural American wildlife, whatever you want to call it. There's no Santa, there's no Christmas, that's not a thing. I know it's unfound, but I would bet my life savings that this is not a Santa hat puppet.
and the Dillard's dancing bear is just better because it's actually dancing and
Yeah,
not
and
moving
this
back.
is it's desperation. It's not way worse. They try, but it's like the sidestepping turtle. Although it is on
And
sync.
oh, right after the dancing
This
bear
clip
is
is a
what
minute
what
and 20
what?
seconds. Nope, nope, not. Whoa. Okay, I'm losing it.
We got what? These replace nothing. These replace a kid scene. They should not be
The
here.
candy train is
Not
the what? The other ones, like, they're.
they shouldn't be there, but they're
No.
not as bad. The candy train clip, it's 1 second.
Yeah, I called it a minute and 20 seconds for some reason, but It's 1 second and 20 milliseconds. That's what I meant to say.
The other two are also terrible and replace nothing. And yeah,
Okay, we
just
got.
trash.
See, this deserves a what? Because they took away his skis. Why would they
This
do
is
that to
like
him?
a magic monkey in first moves, where they
They
remove the
took his
symbols to
manhood.
make him to make him clap.
Yeah. Was it not obvious
Which
enough that he was clapping the cymbals? Like, the clip for this one also looks like shit. There's like a really weird background. I'm gonna.
I'm not huge on the Holly Jolly Rock
Yeah,
Santa,
that's the
but
main reason this isn't like. Wait,
it's still a little worse.
it's worse, but
Sure.
the Holly Jolly Roxanne is weird, so it's not way worse because of that. Okay, repeat, not repeat. This is the last one.
Insanely nothing burger. Who cares? It's a credit scene. It does the same purpose. Talk about.
Yeah, it's a toss up because they actually showed the front of it, except the kid's weird now. So she like blows it. Like you blow out a candle with a snow globe. Why would you do that? Well, those are all repeats, so that is our tier list. We've got two whole significantly betters, one, two, three, four, eight or eight a bit betters, bunch of toss ups, bunch a little worse, six way worse, and a pretty good amount of what. So I think this is the first like comprehensive ranking or discussion of these, and I think it needed to be done. Obviously, you're gonna disagree with some stuff, especially if you really like some of the original toys, because a lot of them, like the sort of forgettable '04 stuff that this doesn't do anything wrong, we put as toss up or just a little worse. But it's important to see these things kind of strictly on paper, and that's what we try to do. So, um, well, that was fun. I'm glad we did that. So we'll have some more videos coming soon. We may have a stream uh, soon. Can't say for sure, but by the time this video is out, you may see a stream. It's not an international package stream either. That'll be in a week or two. So expect the usual stuff, clips, tour review in a little bit. Maybe some more complex videos eventually, but I'm in college now, so it's kind of harder for me to find a ton of free time, even though it's mostly online, so it's not that hard. Um, but yeah, see you later.
See ya.